Abukate Abukate Abukate
Staying up tonight and I'm all alone. Feeling okay, then you hit my phone. Saying, babe, wanna meet up? I'm in the club, but I'm done now. Can I come up? Saying, of course you can come by. I don't know why, but you're sunshine. Oh, you're alright. Oh, you're alright. I'm gonna shut my mouth when you say what's on your mind. I can see the pain in your eyes. First I'm left, then I'm right. Don't know how to keep on calm. Baby, don't you tell your lies.
where I expect something to happen next. I want to say it's going to be this bottom side still. I think both junglers are going to look to get something going there. PJ Salt, though.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a fight going on here in the top, and we are going to see the Ornn call come out. That is going to be a nice knockup right there. As built to like Mewtwo, unfortunately, is going to get brought so low, and that's going to be first blood for Ornn. That was a really good engage. Tef looking for something on the bot lane, not able to find it. And you know, even though
they can survive that and get to turn the tide, I think it's pretty easy. But now Tef.
Ooh, Tef is going to be disengaging. Unfortunately, we do see the knockup's going to come out just at the right perfect opportunity. Diana is going to get shredded by these shots. Senna was walking away, but comes back, does manage to get a return kill, and that is going to be Pengu Soul picking up Johnny Tsunami as well. Really well done by RLS. There was a little bit.
They're kind of setting up for it. There is a lot of vision from RLS. Vision very quiet right now for the side of Wash, but Codex Anime is spotted going in.
Flash in by Diana in order to try and get this taken out. We do see the rest of RLS able to leave the Ziggs ultimate. They're not going to be taking any damage from the paranoia. Means that the Ziggs ult is going to go wide, and unfortunately, we're going to see so much damage coming out.
PJ
trying to do what they can, going under this tower, just taking all of these shots, but the damage profile on RLS is already online. They are peppering them in the back, but look at this Tristana just completely poking out the rest of RLS. You have Tephra having to use the gray shield health in order to stay alive. Escape is doing what they can, trying to find a target, isn't quite able to. See Nocturne jumping on this backline. These squishies are going to start taking so much damage, and look at that. You've got the first Elder Drake proc, then we have Shen jumping in on the backline, getting some more damage off. That's the second one. The third one is down, is going to be come down here momentarily. Corki trying to get some shots off.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the FOF broadcast. We are watching Game 3 between Team Wash and rapidly losing Sandy. This is the playoffs, and with me, I have today Utility Monster. How are you doing?
Doing great. I'm glad they didn't fire us after our last cast. We're back.
Yeah. We had James Bond our way back onto the broadcast, but here we are, ready to cast some League of Legends, and I, for one, am really excited because I think going into this, I was really favoring Team Wash, actually, just on a player-by-player basis. I felt like they were stronger mechanically, and they really RLS has really made me eat my words because they've really been popping off, and with a substitute top laner, no less.
Yeah, no, it's been really impressive. Definitely been a little bit of a tale of two halves of the map, though. PJ Salt has been getting the better in top lane, and Escape and Tephra have really been pulling through the bot lane, and RLS has managed to convert their half more effectively the first two games. I like this draft from Wash, though. So they've taken away Pengusoul's Corki, and Corki and Victor is banned by RLS, are sort of what Pengusoul has looked super comfortable on the second half of the season. And so we have the Vex coming out for the first time for him, and that's interesting. Nocturne, a repeat from War Leader. And Xin Zhao, I really don't like Xin Zhao. I think he's a little bit weak at the moment. He has never won a game in FOF this season.
Yeah, he ate a lot of nerfs. There was a period where I think he was quite strong, but after he got nerfed out of pro play, I just don't think he offers enough. The nerf to his ultimate duration, really huge, because basically Xin Zhao just cheats itemization with his ultimate. He turns into the best tank in the game when his ult is on, as someone who doesn't build tank items. And then when it falls off, he dies instantly like a fragile bruiser, you know? But overall, yeah, Xin Zhao, a little bit interesting. I think the idea maybe is to try and interrupt the engage. If Xin Zhao doesn't issue the auto attack, he can use his ultimate to maybe knock back Nocturne or knock back Vex.
It looks like the draft graphic has been updated, so we had the teams flipped. So this makes actually more sense intuitively. So RLS is, I was going to say, Wash just picked Lulu, and that's sort of Wash pick, and Thresh is a Tef special. So yeah, no, this makes more sense. So both sort of going back to what they've been playing, actually.
Okay. And they're pulling a fast one on us, but we figured it out.
We got a blind Mordekaiser. I actually like that. I think Mordekaiser is actually surprisingly hard to beat in the 1v1, especially punishing against players who maybe aren't used to top lane, like Mewtwo, who is a world support player. And it sort of gives you a chance to really push home the leads that you've been getting 1v1 in a way that maybe Ornn couldn't have the last two games.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, with Mordekaiser, with Mordekaiser Ultimate, you get sent to the Shadow Realm, and if you're standing in the wrong spot, Mordekaiser's going to say, do you think you can fight me for 12 continuous seconds? And the answer is no, then you'll die. So,
right. Yeah. And Sion is a rough one into Mordekaiser in the 1v1, but so it's definitely playing to survive, and eke out some team fight wins. The Caitlyn is interesting. That's something Escape is very good at, but I think Caitlyn is in a weak spot right now. And the Vayne counter pick, I think Caitlyn is strong against Vayne, but Vayne is the stronger character. So definitely going to see how this turns out. Barbituate and Dark Tsunami have had a really hard time surviving lane. And I don't think that Vayne into Caitlyn is going to be necessarily the solution for that. So they're going to have to play very defensively and try and not get in a hole like they have the past couple of games and try and come out in team fights on top with their better scaling.
Yeah, I think a player who's going to have a lot of agency over the outcome of this game is actually Johnny Tsunami. And he's been like a big enchanter player throughout this season. I think we've seen a lot of Nami, perhaps appropriately based on based on their name. But, with the Lulu in lane, Vayne's going to struggle against Thresh Caitlyn no matter what. You have to play outside of flare range, you have to play outside of auto range, you can't really trade back. But it's really up to Johnny Tsunami to try and equalize this lane, because Lulu is much stronger than in lane than Tephra will be on the Thresh. So if Lulu can maintain pressure, shove, protect the Vayne, get through the laning phase, then if they can get to 2 items, that's actually already enough to nearly outscale Caitlyn, just because Vayne's 2-item spike with the Guinsoo is going to line up perfectly with the power trough from Escape's Caitlyn.
Yeah, so this is a do or die situation for Wash. They have to reverse sweep against RLS, and that starts here in game 3. And RLS, on the other hand, is trying to break the Xin Zhao 0-win curse and take home a 3-0 victory and move on to the semifinals of Friend or Foe Season 5.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can make it. I, for one, am, partly for selfish reasons. I'm having a good time with broadcast with you. I would like to see a game 4. Maybe even a game 5.
Maybe even a game 5. I know I posted, the Twitch chat copy pasta of RLS really loathe the silver scrapes, but you can just change the loathes to a loves and it works. So yeah, perfect. Game 5 would be sick.
Yeah, the letter L does in fact work that way. As an elementary school teacher, I can verify that, it makes the same sound.
I don't know much about the letter L. I prefer the letter W.
W for win?
I think it's for wash.
Oh, okay. I thought it was for war leader.
Oh, yeah, it's true. War Leader is my favorite jungler in the league. Easily top 6 jungler of all time.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of the jungle, we have God X Anime starting his blue buff, and War Leader also starting his blue buff on the opposite sides of the map.
So War Leader is playing around his bot lane. He's going to clear down, and that sort of plays the strengths he's been having this entire series. And God X Anime is going to have a faster clear because he got the 2-man leash. But he is going to be leaving his bot lane on islands and playing for his solo lanes.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of the same game plan that both these teams have been going for this whole series. Anyway, is like, RLS knows that their strength is in bottom lane, and Wash knows that PJ is beating people up top. So both junglers pathing to their strong side. I think it's pretty logical. I do think sometimes teams overcompensate pathing to weak lanes to protect them. I mean, that can be a win condition, but it really depends on the situation, because overall, I think your time's better spent building a carry rather than to put out fires. Because fires tend to grow, and then the damage control just becomes worse and worse. Whereas if you can build your own fire on the other side of the map, that can be more effective.
I completely agree, and that's one reason that you often hear, the heuristic that junglers should only gank winning lanes and never losing lanes, and it's sort of what you've described as an expansion of that concept. The one downside, though, is that Wash is down 0-2, and they have been playing that way this whole series, so it's sort of on them to mix it up at some point.
We'll have to be careful here. Wednesday having to flash out their war leader, looking maybe for the tower dive. No, Wednesday who's going to shield himself and slink away from that one. Down a little bit of pressure with the wave coming in, but does have teleport to fix this. So overall, I think Wednesday will be okay, but not super pleased to lose that flash early, especially against Corki. Is going to continue to scale.
Yeah, and Nocturne shadowing to make sure that the wave is in a decent spot after all, but definitely a solid gank from War Leader. Blowing a flash is never a bad place to be this early.
Yeah, kind of interesting. We already see the lopsided CS. Caitlyn is shoving this wave in, so Perpetua will get a little bit back, but PJ with a really solid lead over built like Mewtwo. She's toughing it out under tower, as Cyan does in the early game, but it's going to be, I think, harder and harder in the 1v1. There are opportunities for Cyan to play the team fight, especially because PJ cannot ult Mewtwo's Cyan out of Cyan ultimate. It does give you CC immune, so maybe there's opportunities to team fight later.
Perhaps. But yeah, apparently if you're built like Mewtwo, doesn't mean that you can CS like Mewtwo. Because I imagine Mewtwo, he has a pretty good stat profile. I bet Mewtwo would be a very good CSer.
Yeah, definitely an uber tier Pokemon. All right. Here's a question for you though. Are you a Mega Y Mewtwo or are you Mega X? What's your favorite?
I prefer Mega X. Mega Y is too squishy for me, and also it looks worse.
Okay. True, that's a very compelling reason.
It's really fun to just drain punch people with your BST 700 Pokemon.
Okay, that is pretty awesome. And also psychic fighting coverage, really, really awesome. You just you hit everything.
True.
Yeah.
How about you?
And then you don't have to use Focus Blast, the worst move in the game.
That is definitely the worst move in the game.
Yeah.
It says 70% accuracy, but it's actually 70% mischance.
Yeah. Godx Anime here, maybe looking to support the bottom lane, reversing his route and skipping camps. Tefra a little caught off guard. We're going to look at that later. Thresh Lantern brings Escape back to the tower, but the fear goes through. War Leader here looking for the counter gank. Barbiturate kiting out. The hook just narrowly goes wide, and we actually just going to walk away from this. Nothing happened. We're good. We're chilling.
A good counter gank to make sure the bot lane's safe. The only possible chance there is if you, as Nocturne, flash behind the target you're fearing at the last second to fear them into your team. But the fear was going on to Escape, and Escape has cleansed, so that wouldn't have worked here. But that was sort of the only possible way, because Escape is just too close to his tower for that to be a kill.
Right. Yeah, you can kind of get the mini Nocturne insect with the reverse fear, but you have to be really close to make that happen, and you need to also not get counter flash. So Escape also had cleanse, so I think worst case scenario, he just cleanses out of that one and escapes, as one might do. But overall, I think nothing significant gets traded, just time from both junglers. I guess the main thing is that I think Godx Anime was ahead in clear speed prior to that, but by flipping their route and padding toward the bottom side, they do give up a little bit of tempo. It's not going to be huge, but they are gearing up to clear toward the bottom side of the map from now on.
Yeah. Nocturne is coming out of base, but unless the scoreboard is bugged, has not bought any items, which is odd to me.
That does seem a little peculiar. Maybe saving up for trying to think what component you could want.
You see Xin Zhao here with the AD component, as we have a gank in mid lane, but Wednesday's gonna walk out.
Oh, you see Mewtwo getting really low. PJ beating him up. And, Mewtwo, she's trying to get away from this one, but you're stuck in the Shadow Realm. PJ looking to convert, gets the first blood, but it's not over yet. Sign, maybe looking for the revenge kill with passive, but no, I think PJ's going to limp on out of that one. Still has half of his health bar remaining.
It's a rough matchup for Mewtwo, and so PJ takes advantage of her inexperience playing into Mordekaiser, and also just inexperience with top lane in general. And that's what Washed really needs a lot of in this game to make this series come back.
Yeah, and on the other side of the map, it looks like we're having a fairly even laning phase, which I think really favors Barbiturate. I was expecting Tefra, maybe they could pressure the lane a little more aggressively with the Flay, but not really finding those opportunities, partly because of the jungle presence from both sides, to be fair. And Tefra, they have had really good lanterns to help Escape get out. So I think overall, kind of a wash bottom, as one might say, but it's going to favor Vayne overall.
I want you to never say that ever again in a wash game. I will get confused.
Okay, that it was a little bit on purpose. I was testing you. You passed.
What do I win?
Good job. As this is your second inaugural cast, I don't know what would be a good prize. Maybe I'm going to pray for 7 dragons this game. That's your prize. 7th dragon. Gotta have a banger.
We have to do the
Mewtwo, though, might need to be a little bit careful there. She's getting really low. PJ looking to convert under tower, gets the shield, but Mewtwo, there's shields everywhere. There's shields that damage, there's shields that are shielding. PJ's hitting the minions. Okay, we're good. Mewtwo is really low there, but PJ's not quite able to convert, doesn't have flash available. Oh, I believe, sorry, did not have 2 flashes available, only 1 flash. So that's not going to result in a kill conversion, but it will bully Mewtwo out of the tower, and PJ will be able to get a great CS lead reset, and built like Mewtwo, gonna have a bit of an item deficit here, down 30 CS and that kill from earlier.
Yeah, Mewtwo's gonna be losing some plates and some experience here, so even though there's no kill that comes through, it's basically a kill in terms of the net golden experience swing.
Yeah. As everyone knows, the only deaths that matter are the ones that make you lose farm. That's why
true.
If you execute after full clear your jungle, it doesn't count. Can you confirm or deny these allegations?
As a jungler, I can confirm that executes jungle camps don't count.
All right, perfect. Good to know. Oh, PJ, finding the bush cheese here. Oh, man, building Mewtwo really struggling over here on the top side of the map. And I think it's compounded by the fact that they have to play around the paranoia from Nocturne. Godx Anime can show up and turn this fight right out of the Shadow Realm. But even 1v1, built like Mewtwo is going to burn down under the tower. Not able to retaliate and not able to even escape with the ultimate. PJ is really turning this top lane into a bit of a mess. And we'll have to see if built like Mewtwo can even survive the lane so that she can teamfight later.
Yeah, it's the PJ Salt show at this point. And that kill actually came through because Mewtwo ulted back to lane to miss less experience in gold, but as a result didn't have the ult to escape the Mordekaiser Death Realm. So sort of little advantages compounding to give bigger ones over to this Mordekaiser. And you can really see that the switch from Ornn to Mordekaiser is already paying dividends. You have a snowballing character. That said, PJ Salt has been fed in Mordekaiser games before, against us actually, in week 3, I believe, of the season, our first round-robin game against Wash. He got very fed on the Mordekaiser and then was unable to convert that into a win, ultimately. So definitely still have to watch how PJ Salt is able to convert this win into the mid-game from a lane win to a team advantage.
Yeah, I think especially since... hold that thought. Tephra... Hook... is on the right angle, but a little bit short, so they don't end up converting on that one. Arbitrate is gonna slowly approach the wave, down about 2 waves here, 12 CS, which is not too bad at all for Vayne. Did manage to get that component, and they've been so far doing a great job mitigating. There haven't been dive opportunities. There hasn't been really effective use of this prio other than the Hextech Dragon. To be fair, it's a really good dragon, but yeah, I'm still just watching this Vayne scale. It's not exciting to be down this much farm, but you'll take it to get Vayne into the late game.
That's certainly true, although I don't know what kind of math you're doing. That looks more like a 20 CS lead than a 12 CS lead to me.
Okay, the numbers are not real. There's suggestions.
I thought you were an elementary school teacher.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't teach math, but actually I do teach math. That's actually the one subject I teach.
Well, this is the state of the public school system in America, folks.
Anyway,
please,
we spend most of math drawing pictures, not counting, so...
Please vote for increased funding to your local school district.
Yeah. Give me a raise so I can relearn how to count. Support your local teachers. But yeah, while we have a little bit of a low state here, and by low state I mean PJ Sol is continuing to wreak havoc in the top lane, but a bit of a low state here as we wait for the next dragon spawn. Hextech Dragon, really good dragon, and I think part of it, that Barbiturate is face checking directly into War Leader. There's a ward coverage that's getting swept out there, but Barbiturate, they want to challenge this because Paranoia is on the way. God X Anime finding War Leader, going through War Leader's ultimate, going incredibly low. Lulu ultimate goes through for the knockup. There's follow up from Wednesday. Vex ultimate converts the kill. There's the reset, getting second one goes through tower. Trading back onto Wednesday, and Pengusul gets the kill on the exchange, picking up double buffs. Can he survive the follow-up dive? I think Pengusul will be able to clear out this wave. Great roam by Wednesday. Big kills traded all across the board, but overall, I think Wash is really happy with this outcome, but they're for sure happy with this. They even trade out in the top lane. There's going to be kills all over the map, action all over the place, and Wash ends up ahead with 5 kills to 1 over the overall course of the game.
Yeah, I'm 2 for 1 in bottom lane with both mid laners teleporting down, and then another solo kill in top lane. And this Mordekaiser's really looking scary. And there's not even a way that you can group up and take him down with 3 people on the side lane because it's Mordekaiser. He's going to ult one person, kill them, and then 1v2 the last 2 people with the stats. So I have no idea how RLS is supposed to deal with this Mordekaiser until everyone on the team is full build, basically.
All right, so we do need to watch. Does PJ have teleport for this dragon? It's not quite up. So there is a window for RLS to play through a dragon win condition. Sure, you can't beat Mordekaiser on the split, but if Mordekaiser's out of position or not at this fight, then you can still pick up this dragon with your strong bottom lane. You have your strong Corkis farming up. Yeah, they're just going to take this dragon uncontested. So we're going to have to really watch, is Wash able to challenge dragons 3 and 4? Because if they're not able to and they end up giving those due to sloppy macro, even though they're an advantaged game state, especially with the gold, they can still lose out to an Ocean Soul.
That's true. I do like the decision to give that dragon, though. You see a lot of friend or foe teams sort of stand around and watch the dragon be taken in front of them. And Wash makes the decisive call that we don't have control of the river, our bot lane isn't scaled where we want to be, we don't have teleport top lane, so we can just give this one and take our gold lead and contest later one. So I really like that decision.
Oh, and speaking of contesting, Pengu's still finding a package from post-dragon. Johnny Tsunami going incredibly low. Barbiturate trying to trade back under the tower. Johnny Tsunami barely lives. Tephra trying to find their hook, but they're just trying to limp away at this point. Escape, really low health bar. Low health bars all around Barbiturate. Surviving under the tower, and Wednesday finds the pick, instantly kills Escape, has the reset. Tephra going down as well. Pengusul is limping out on the edge, but War Leader going incredibly low. Isolated 1v3, but Sinjar can make miracles happen. War Leader looking for the kill, but no, Barbiturate picks it up. And oh no, this is a disaster for RLS.
Yeah, this is sort of the...
Oh wait, maybe you can Mewtwo turning it around. It's the reverse revenge solo kill top lane conspiracy, picking up the huge shutdown onto PJ. That is a huge surprise. I think PJ overextended there on the Rift Trail crash trying to take the tower.
Yeah, that's a really big shutdown to give over to this Scion, who was really out of the game before that. But a big win in bottom lane for Wash, and they're in a really good spot. Up 2,000 gold, down 2 dragons, so they will have to contest the next dragon, but they're in a good spot, I think, to sort of snowball this mid game into a lot of control. And I think since they don't have the first 2 dragons, they're looking at a Baron win condition more than anything else. So they'll want to make sure that they don't give RLS a Dragon Soul, and they'll switch to playing topside for Baron.
Yeah, just like we were talking about with the dragons, RLS makes the great dragon call. They have the package ready, and Wash chooses not to contest. But I think, unfortunately, RLS kind of gets their hands stuck in the pickle jar. Their eyes are a little bit bigger than their stomach, and they try to force the play, knowing they have package, which makes sense. But they've already kind of gotten everything they wanted. The bottom lane that they're fighting into is incredibly accelerated relative to where they should be, and they're just not able to convert the kills under the tower. Everything is just a little bit off, and Wednesday getting crazy disruption during that fight just really blows out Pengu's Soul and Escape. And I mean, that's kind of the importance of Wash being rewarded for not wasting time challenging a dragon they had no right to challenge. They keep their cooldowns, they keep their resources, and then they're able to defend the 2 in the 1-2 punch.
Yeah, and if Mewtwo is playing Scion, then I think this Mordekaiser is a Gengar, because the Shadow Realm sort of traps you just like Shadow Tag from Gengar, and Ghost is super effective against Mewtwo. So I think it's
and
just a really nice... No,
yeah, Mordekaiser's probably Ghost Steel type. That makes sense.
Yeah, so I think that's a really nice type advantage here for Mordekaiser in the counter matchup, and that's probably a big reason for this advantage.
Okay. You have me thinking about Pokemon, Josh, and I did learn a really interesting Pokemon trivia fact recently about Gen 1.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah, so, all right, you may think this is really dumb, but Gen 1, it released for the Game Boy Color, right?
Yeah.
So the whole thing was they have altered color palette, but we're going to have to hold the God X anime. Finding Escape. Cleanse goes out on the fear, but Escape just dies to the damage. Tephra trying to get away, but they can't make their way out. God X anime walks over Tephra's course and clears the ward. And this is getting really bad. Caitlyn has not been able to convert the lane advantage. Escape isn't well positioned to carry in the mid game. And now Barbiturate's going to basically hit 2 items for free. This game is just getting worse and worse for RLS.
Yeah, they still have this out of, getting a fight at this next dragon and snowballing that, or just hoping that Wash maybe can't close the game, maybe can't quite get a Baron, and the Dragon's Soul Clock is too slow, and eventually Corki and Caitlyn scale into late game. But yeah, definitely you'd rather be Wash here. It is a very long time to late game. Yeah,
because Vayne is a really good scaling character, but theoretically, super late game 6 item, Caitlyn and Corki have so much range that Pengu, Soul, and Escape will just be able to push Barbiturate out of the fight entirely. But you basically need enough Corki damage to threaten the one-shot on Vayne for that to happen. And that is not going to happen for a very long time.
Especially not through Lulu shields, if those are on point.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So on the plus side, your Pokemon fact, though.
Oh, yeah, my Pokemon fact, yeah. So hopefully RLS concedes this dragon so that I don't have to play-by-play, so I can finish my really cool fact. But so the Gen 1 Pokemon released for the Game Boy Color, right? And the whole thing is they have this color palette because the original Game Boy was black and white. We're really just going to fight God X anime, though. So I'm going to have to close out this fact as PJ Soul taking so much space in this fight, getting a huge Mordekaiser passive application. War Leader chunked out already, does not have ultimate to re-engage. Wednesday finding the ultimate connection, is thinking about going on Escape, but no, not going to pull the trigger. That's a lot of big cooldowns blown by both sides, but God X Anime still has Paranoia, and that's going to be huge in this fight. War Leader starting up the Dragon. RLS does need to take this and get out. The pressure is on them. PJ does have Teleport available, is channeling directly into the pit. Paranoia goes through. Who will get the Smite fight? It's Sinjao. War Leader secures the Dragon, but the fight isn't over yet. Barbiturate fighting on the other side of the map, built like Mewtwo, getting chewed out by the Silver Bolts, and it's going to be a triple kill for Mordekaiser. 3 kills going over the side of Wash. I mean, there is the soul point threat from RLS, but overall I can't help but say that Wash came out ahead on that fight.
No, for sure. And you had it right the first time. It was 4. Mordekaiser got a triple kill, and Vayne got the last one on the backside.
I see. Yeah. All right. The sign passive confused me,
Yeah.
If it's on the scoreboard, it's not real.
RLS did get the dragon, as you said. So RLS has a very long time before any Dragon Soul will be a threat, and they will threaten Soul themselves if Wash messes up. But Wash at this point has a gold lead that is big enough that you have to think that they can eventually just control top jungle of RLS to convert that into a Baron and then push down for the win. But because of objective values in the current season, it doesn't actually take that big of a mistake where you give over some kill bounties, some towers after dying, and Dragon Soul for RLS to suddenly be back in it. So definitely it's on Wash to make a mistake, but I think it's less of a mistake required than it would be in previous seasons.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm kind of already thinking about Game 4 in a way, because first of all, I'm really excited that we get a Game 4 and that Wash is really putting up a fight. They do not look like the same team that we just watched 2 games in a row. And second of all, you shouldn't go anywhere, because you may never find out what my Pokemon fact is if there's any more crazy fights this game.
That's true.
So
while you wait for the Pokemon fact, we should maybe check out the Friend or Foe Connect. It's a great magazine about Friend or Foe. And while we stall for time for Civillock's Pokemon fact, you can read that. You can read Bob Joseph's support manifesto this week. That was my favorite article.
Oh, that was a really good article. And I think for sure the unique champions played, as you will find out about if you read the magazine, the ideal metric for evaluating the skill of any player. For example, under that metric, I'm a much better mid laner than Mizusa, so you should vote me first for mid lane MVP.
That's true. Anyone who has any players who have not voted for MVP, most of the league has, but not everyone. Make sure you do that. Nocturne ult for control here, not for anything else.
Oh, yeah, no conversion there. Godex Anime having the trigger pull discipline, just turns off the lights, turns it back on. Just no monsters.
I think we're finally safe for the Pokemon fact.
All right. There's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Surely nothing will happen for the Dragon Spawn. But the Game Boy Color, the big innovation was that it had color.
That's why they call it the Game Boy Color.
That's why it's called the Game Boy Color. And, the town that you start in Gen 1, right? It's Palette Town.
Yeah.
Which is like Painter Palette.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize until like a couple months ago that all the Gen 1 towns are named after colors. Like, did everyone just know this and I'm just stupid because I can't see colors?
Cerulean is blue and that's the water Pokemon
gym.
And
like Cinnabar is like red.
Kind of like cinnamon.
Pewter City, like all the cities are named after colors.
Yeah, I think you're just dumb.
That's entirely possible. In my defense, I can't see a lot of colors, so that's
true.
I don't know. Like, I thought they were just
also
cool
in your
names.
defense. When I played Pokemon Red for the first time on Game Boy Color, I had a pink Game Boy Advance and a Game Boy Color cartridge I would put in it.
Oh, we're gonna have to hold that thought. As Gosh's Anime goes in on the red buff, Warlier not able to farm his own jungle is gonna get feared, and then Polymorph, there's no counterplay to that one, dies instantly in the jungle, there's no friends nearby. Tefra's hook is gonna go wide, Escape is tagged by the Dust Trail, but they are gonna be fine. So only the red buff and Warleader going over the side of Wash. I think that's a great way of using the Paranoia, especially because it's 1 more minute until Dragon spawns. Godex Anime will have that cooldown available next time there's an objective fight. So basically a free
Baron off of the jungle advantage because I think they can get this. Because they killed the enemy smite, they can just do this, and RLS is not going to contest. They're going to try and set up for Dragon and take a Hail Mary there. I think if I'm RLS, I wouldn't even contest the next Dragon. I would try and sit back and wait out as long as possible. But definitely a good use of the Nocturne ult to deny World Leader any chance of getting more farm and experience, and then eventually converting that into the Baron, which is, as we said earlier, the big win condition for Wash, how they're going to actually break the base of RLS.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Wash has been pretty good about securing dragons. Hold that thought. PJ Salt is walking directly into the Scion Key, fully charged, Bill like Mewtwo getting a sick engage, but Paranoia goes through Godex Anime onto the back line, Escape dying instantly. There's no counterplay. Barbiturous hitting on the front line with the Silver Bolts and the Gwinsu, and it's just the fight's over before it even starts. The package goes through to try and intercept and stop them from getting in the pit, but I think they're just going to wait this one out. Dragon's not up for 6 more seconds. Pengu Soul make the miracle fight happen. There is still the miracle rocket steal. War Leader is still alive. This could be a soul steal.
Mordekaiser still has ult, so Mordekaiser should be able to ult the Xin Zhao to prevent his steal. But definitely, RLS decided that they don't want to just wait and take a later fight. They want to all in now, and they go for the bush cheese in the enemy jungle. Doesn't pay off. And now Wash, with Dragon gone, has all the time in the world to set up a Baron push.
Yeah, they're just going to casually walk away from that one. No miracle steal attempt because there's just not enough vision control. And I like the idea of playing for the Scion Q built like Mewtwo gets a great charge up, and she gets a knock up on almost, I believe, 3 members of Wash, but there's just not enough follow-up. Pengusoul is not there to follow up with the package, it's a little too far away. There's no way to burst anyone out, so unfortunately that CC gets kind of wasted, and they're positionally not able to take advantage of it.
Yeah. Speaking of Pokemon facts, though, it's like I was saying, I played Pokemon Red on my pink Game Boy Advance cartridge.
Nice,
and I was very young, and I was incapable of figuring out how to leave Cerulean City. But I had a lot of fun playing Pokemon. So I grinded with my Squirtle until it was a level 45 Blastoise in Cerulean City, which is the second gym. And then I figured out how to leave and wipe the rest of the game because my Blastoise was overpowered.
Yeah, you know, it's oh, and speaking of overpowered, we have Wednesday finding flank on the side. War Leader going down instantly. There's the reset. Paranoia goes through. Godex Anime on the back line again. Escape just can't live this game. Tefra going down as well. They'll like Mewtwo trying to disengage, but there's just nothing left. Can't even survive against the Silver Bolts on Vayne. Pengusoul is showing up late to the fight. Isn't even there before it starts. Wednesday looking for the ultimate reset. Pengusoul going for the miracle trade. Gets zoned out entirely. Zanya's keeps Wednesday alive, and I think this just may be the end of the game, Josh.
I think that's true. I mean, it's been... The writing's been on the wall for a while.
IPS.
Writing's been on the wall for a little bit. Wash has had a very nice gold advantage, and I really like the adjustments they made, putting a top laner on a champion that can snowball more effectively than the Ornn, and putting their bot lane on, even if it's a weaker lane, a lane that isn't supposed to do anything, so that they can play passively, give up some farm, accept effectively that Escape and Tef are just the better 2v2 laning duo, and say, it doesn't matter, we're going to play a more useful character for later in the game, we're going to let our top laner get ahead, and you're not going to be able to snowball on us. And that's really happened.
Yeah, Wash not able to close out the game quite yet on that fight. So, I mean, there are still miracle fights that RLS can win. They can get a Miracle Steel and Dragon Soul. They can clean up the fight. And they can stabilize. But I think that's a lot to ask for when we have over a 10k gold lead here. And Wednesday, he's just going to give him the wallet special. Escape, unfortunately, cleaned out. Once again, Godex Anime finding War Leader. I mean, you know it's grim when your Xin Zhao gets Nocturne Ultimate and dueled every fight. So yeah, it's getting harder and harder for RLS. This may be the lights out for them.
Yeah, Vex really sending Escape into next week with that one shot. It was pretty gross.
Yeah. And a moment of silence for the Days of the Week pun, and Tefra going to try his best to cut the wave. But there's 5 people here. They hit him with their auto attacks. Pengusoul, the good Valk, but yeah, I just don't think Pengusoul is going to be able to wave clear this. Maybe a bit like Mewtwo can get the Scion charge onto the wave. Yeah, I guess Wash is not able to protect the minion wave, so they again give RLS one more chance, but with the double inhibitor, the odds are just getting worse and worse every time.
Yeah, I don't really see a realistic way for RLS to make it back, barring sort of a catastrophic tower dive on the side of Wash. And they've been playing this so methodically so far, so it's possible, but
yeah.
The way they've been playing so far, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, for sure. It's within the realm of possibility. It's not an impossible game yet, you know?
Well, no game is impossible.
As long as... True. So, you know, there's always a non-zero chance of winning. Until you FF, then... Okay, that's still not true, because you can't counter FF. That's a little-known mechanic in League of Legends to prevent purposely losing a game by match fixing. You can actually FF while the enemy team's FF animation is playing it to counter surrender, and your surrender will go through first. This is a completely useless piece of trivia unless you're in a bracket-seeded tournament in which you prefer to get the lower seed and then surrender on purpose, which you should not do for competitive integrity in a tournament like FOF.
But
so
hypothetically.
never do that. But hypothetically, now you know. You can
legal
counter
alternatives,
FF
if you want to lose a game for seeding, include playing Gale Force Rengar.
Wait, you told me Gale Force Rengar was good. You told me it was foolproof and we couldn't lose.
Yeah, it's really good at losing.
I can't believe this is happening. Your Rengar was so good. We won like 4 normal games in a row.
That's true. That was actually because I was using all 4 fingers in my left hand.
Oh my god, I can't believe you would lie to us like this and then put on the training weights back when we started FOF matches.
I know.
And speaking of training weights, we have the Soul, or sorry, not Soul. The Soul is not claimed by RLS, so Wash will not put on the training weight of giving RLS. I'm not sure where I'm going with this. The Dragon Soul, training weights, but they're going to go to the Baron, which is not going to be contested at all. The inhibs are both down, and I think Wash should finally be able to close this one out. I think with their 12,000 gold lead and Baron and 25 kills to 3, I think they'll finally be able to end this one. I'm not positive, but
I would be shocked if they can't end at this point.
yeah, because I'm running out of filler content, and I'm not sure what else to say about this game. I'm pretty confident Wash closes this one out, though.
Okay, can you name all of the cities, the color cities?
Oh my god, don't make me do this. I can't even see half those colors. There's
Viridian.
Viridian.
Oh, that's
one
the
of the
forest.
colors I cannot see.
The forest.
There's Saffron. I remember Saffron.
Yeah.
There's
Cerulean.
Cerulean. I know there's
Pewter, as you already
Cinnabar
said.
Island.
Yep,
Pewter,
Cinnabar
Pewter
Island.
City.
Yeah.
Here the gyms are there. Because there should
What's
be
the
like 8,
what's the
right?
department store town?
Oh yeah, there's the where you buy all the TMs and like Team Rockets there.
Yeah, Team Rocket like takes over. They like have a hostile takeover, and you have to go beat them up because they're holding the board hostage.
Oh yeah, is there a casino in that one, or is that in Gen 3? I'm getting confused.
There's a casino in both Gen 3 and
Oh yeah, right.
yeah, there's a casino in Mauville in Gen 3, and there's a different casino in the department store town.
Yeah. Man, I can't believe Nintendo would endorse gambling like that in a
I
children's
know,
game.
and it's
Speaking
even
of
like
gambling, you should definitely bet your channel points on FOF matches. And GodX Anime looking for the game-winning engage is just gonna turn the lights
kidding.
off and not go while they push 3 lanes. I mean, you don't really have to fight. That's one of the few ways you lose. You can just casually push 3 lanes. So respectable, but kind of a funny paranoia. Turn the lights on and off again. Just flicker them, get their attention.
Robichuit walking up a little bit too far and being forced to flash after getting thresh hooked. So not great, but I doubt it will impact the result of the fight when you're up 15,000 gold.
Yeah, and Wash is just gonna slowly jockey for position. I like the discipline here. You're up this far. At this point, you've played so many fights, you haven't ended. It's just like, let's make this a 100%. Where are they going? Okay, wait, they're picking up the wave. I got a little nervous because if they left here, I'd be like, come on, guys, just send us to game 4, please. But no, they are. Okay, RLS is wave clearing it. Okay. All right, so I think there is a point of like, you can't be too cautious, but I feel like Watch It is actually being too cautious here. I feel like they have enough gold that they can just do the wallet kill move where they just run in and hit and then end the game.
Yeah,
but
at
I think they're
some
timing out the
level-
package.
At some level, yeah, like it's not so much that they're doing something that will cause them to lose. It's very unlikely that they will lose, but maybe your chances are higher if you try to end 3 times than if you just do nothing for the first 5 minutes of your insurmountable advantage.
Right. Especially because, like we talked about, Vayne scales really well, but like the theoretical super Omega late game with Caitlyn Corki, you can just one-shot Barbiturate before he gets to hit. We're still very far from that point in the game, so I don't think it'll be an issue. But Paranoia goes off one more time. It's disengaged by built like Mewtwo. She's keeping the hopes and dreams alive for a clean 3-0, but yeah, there's just not enough to work with here. Wash is pushing in the waves. That
Baron's off.
why Wednesday's channeling recall.
They use up their entire Baron, and they've decided they don't want to continue pushing even with double supers.
Oh, okay, they're just gonna push without Wednesday. They have teleport on Wednesday, so maybe they're looking to play teleport. But Tefra finds a huge hook flight. Johnny Tsunami getting really low. Ignite goes through. The Caitlyn sniper shot goes off, but it's blocked. And overall, no one on Wash dies, but that was a little scary. And I mean, it does give me that gives, in my mind, that gives RLS like 1 or 2 more percentage points for winning.
Definitely, definitely the case. I mean, RLS is making this 13k gold lead look like only a 6 or 7k gold lead, where they know that they're at a disadvantage, but they're not just rolling over and dying, and I think that's actually quite impressive.
Yeah, I think that's also like, in a way, like, I think this game is already over because Wash can kind of mess around for a little bit and still win pretty casually, I think, in this game. But if you're thinking of playing for next game, like the mental damage of getting stalled out this long, I'm kind of curious how both these teams are feeling, because Wash could be the kind of team that they kind of relax and they're just chilling, and they're just like, oh man, we're having a good time, we're really far ahead, we'll just kill them and go to the next game. But they could also be the kind of team that's thinking like, man, how can we not end? Like, this is really hard, way harder than I'm expecting. And, you know, if you have the wrong mindset about this, you can really tilt off a game like this, even when you win.
Yeah, I definitely think that staying in a game where you're really far ahead is probably very good for your mental, especially after losing the first 2 games of the series. So I can imagine this being sort of an extended mental reset. But
True, yeah. They're already drafting for next game in their heads. You know, that's why it's taking so long to end.
But definitely, yeah, there becomes a point, I don't think we've gotten there yet, where you do start worrying a little bit. But looks like they're finally going to take the dive and end the game.
Yeah, Wednesday knocked up here. Built like Mewtwo trying to get the counter knockup, but there's nothing to convert. Tefra getting chunked out. GodX Anime finding another kill, and Built like Mewtwo going into the passive. She's trying to trade back the kill into Barbiturates, but it's not enough. Johnny Tsunami keeps his whole team alive, and PJ Salt, GodX Anime, Wednesday, they're going to blow up the Nexus and explode it after 34 minutes and 30 seconds. Perhaps a little bit longer than was strictly necessary, but a calm and decisive victory for them. They play to their win condition, they activate the Vayne, and Caitlyn is just not able to come off the ground. Escape can't hit his power spikes and isn't able to turn things around, going 0-8. Unfortunately, getting not the greatest
overall,
performance, but
really
understandable.
nice comeback win from Wash, and now it's an RLS to sort of punch back and see if they can adjust to Wash's newfound adaptations.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if we were all machines and we were just the perfect AIs, like, these games wouldn't have any correlation between each other. But as human beings, as emotional animals, I can't help but wonder, like, what is RLS's mindset going into the next game? You know, you were up 2-0, maybe looking for a clean 3-0 sweep. And then not only do you lose a game like this, where you just get smashed in the kills. And honestly, I think their macro was pretty solid, despite all that happened in lane. But this is kind of the Wash I was expecting to see when I came in to watch. I was expecting Wash to be favored, and it was games like this that really made me think that. I don't think Wash is the strongest macro, especially compared to RLS, but their just individual lane prowess can really come out. They're safe and disciplined, and they can turn fights around, and that's what we saw in this game.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go to a break, but don't go anywhere. We're going to be back for Game 4 in just a little bit. In the meantime, check out the FOF magazine, and also check out the schedule for the upcoming Valorant tournament, which you can watch this upcoming weekend.
Don't go anywhere.